Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about intermittent fasting and how I found it after doing it for 4 months. So intermittent fasting is a dietary strategy that cycles between periods of fasting and eating. Various forms include the 16-8 method, the 1 meal a day, the 18-6. I've seen different types of methods that people have done during intermittent fasting. So you'll have a set window, for example 8 hours that you will eat, and then 16 hours you fast, so you don't eat, and you can drink water. For example, I heard that you can't drink lemon water. I drank like herbal tea during this time. So I started intermittent fasting in December, I think it was at the 17th, and I'd done it up until April time, and it was a very, very hard journey. Intermittent fasting, I've heard other people that have done it, that it gets easier over time. And some days it was easier than others, but after doing it for a couple of months, I still don't think that it was easy to do. And it was hard to also fit in with my routine. So firstly, when I started off doing intermittent fasting, it was during the Christmas break. So I was at home during this time. It wasn't as hard, even though I was like studying, as I'm a uni student. I started off doing the 16-8 method, so fasting 16 hours, eating 8 hours. And I done this up until probably when lockdown started. So around like March time, I then decided to do 18-6, and then I also done 24, and twice I done 1 meal a day. So you're meant to actually adhere to doing the fasting for this amount of time, eating for this amount of time consistently, even though I did switch it up because some days I just wasn't losing the weight, so I wanted it to be more effective, especially with the fact that we had so much time on our hands. Sometimes I just wasn't hungry as well. I just decided to switch up. So I didn't do 24 fasting for 20 hours, eating for 4 hours that often, and I still ate 2 meals a day. So during this time of 18-6, 24 and 16-8, I still ate 2 meals a day regardless. I started off doing 16-8 because it was more realistic, as I had university. I had earlier starts some days and later starts the other days. And during the times in which I had university, I would eat my breakfast and then have my lunch at uni. But then I wouldn't have dinner, and then the next time that I ate would be breakfast time. And then after lunch, I would just be having herbal drinks or water. But I found it to be really, really hard because of the fact that the road that I lived on was filled with takeaway places, and during this time that I was dieting, I didn't eat takeaway except once, but that was it, and it wasn't nice. It was very disappointing. I found that 16-8 was effective. It's usually the method that a lot of people do. It was easier than the others. I think that the good thing was that I still ate 2 meals a day. I found that during uni time, it was really, really hard because of the fact that I didn't have like a set schedule. So every single day I didn't have like a specific time that no matter what I'd eat at this time, because I had different starts during the day of university. Some days I would start eating at like 8 o'clock, some days I would start eating at 7, sometimes it would be like 9. It really depended on like the day that I had. With intermittent fasting, you're supposed to have like a set time that you eat in order to reach the 16 hours of fasting, but because of my schedule I didn't always fit that, even though it was still effective and I still did end up losing weight. It was just hard to do, especially with the fact that I wanted it to be as effective as possible, and that's why I tried out doing 18-6 and 24 and even 1 meal a day. But I only done 1 meal a day twice, and I just couldn't do it because I was feeling really faint. 24 was a bit more bearable, and I found that during the times in which I was doing intermittent fasting, times that I was the hungriest was late afternoon, so about like 3 p.m. to about like 9 p.m. is when I was the most hungry. And because because I would have stopped eating by that time, I found it really, really difficult. But during lockdown, the times in which I started eating was about 3 p.m. when I was doing 24, and when I was doing 1 meal a day, I would start eating at that time because I wasn't really hungry during breakfast time unless if I was going to uni. Since I have acid reflux as well, I feel like nauseous usually in the morning, so I wouldn't be able to eat anyway. So I didn't find that part too hard. It was just being able to consistently reach the 16 hours, and then if I didn't reach the 16 hours, I was just waiting until I got to that time to be able to start eating. I would say that the benefits of intermittent fasting was that it was effective. I did end up losing weight. I lost 13 kg, which I think is about like 26 or 28 pounds. I'm not too sure, one of those two. But it was effective in that way. I went from 72 kg to 59. I then lost 1 kg without doing intermittent fasting. I think that if you are a snacker, intermittent fasting would help. I was never really that much of a snacker. I prefer just eating full meals instead of snacking. But I think it would benefit those that are snackers. And it also helped me to cope a bit more with my acid reflux because I wasn't forcing myself to eat during the morning time. I think there are disadvantages to intermittent fasting, even though that it does seem like it is a miracle worker, that you can lose weight within a certain period of time. And I feel as if I lost the weight quite quickly. It was quicker than what I thought I was going to lose the weight, since most people that had done dieting or intermittent fasting that I had watched on YouTube, it seemed like it took a while, like 6 months plus, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be waiting a year to be able to achieve my weight loss goal. But I think being in lockdown ended up helping me because I started doing 24 and 18/6. So there are weaknesses to it, as I was saying beforehand, such as I felt really dizzy. I think what didn't help was the fact that I didn't stick to a specific time that, oh, okay, so at 8 o'clock or at 7 o'clock I'm going to start eating and then I'll stop eating at so and so. I didn't do that. It would just be whenever I woke up, I would eat probably an hour later, and that probably wasn't good because my body didn't know a set time in which I would be eating. It was just so sporadic. So I felt dizzy when I came back from university because I was hungry. So that's why I was drinking like water and herbal tea a lot. I feel like it did take away my energy a lot, and I found it difficult to like work out because during this time I would work out in the evening after I got back, because I would have to wake up early and I would do work in the morning, then go to uni, and then I thought around the time before I went to bed, because working out made me fall asleep afterwards, I would then work out. But it drained me so much that I didn't have that much energy when I wanted to work out, and I wasn't able to complete certain things. So certain workouts that I wanted to, I wasn't able to do as much. So a lot of people say that when doing intermittent fasting afterwards that the hunger goes. I didn't find that happen to me. I was still hungry regardless, and sometimes I just wanted to eat. Like, it doesn't take away the mental drive you have that, oh, I just want to eat this, I just want to eat this, especially with the place that I was living. It had a lot of takeaway places. And would I do it again? I would, but I would do it differently. So instead of doing 1 meal a day, which I don't recommend, or 24, which I also don't recommend, I would probably do 14-10. So I'd fast for 14 hours and eat for 10 hours, but I would change up the meals that I would eat. So because I would be eating plant-based, it would already be a lot healthier, and I would still stick to the same diet that I was sticking to, a reduced amount of sugar and salt, and not eating meat as well, because I think that helps. But I just think that some of the other methods were too restrictive, and they don't help with whatever you have in your daily life, going to uni, going to work, whatever it is. I don't think it fit in with my lifestyle. I think what also made it worse was the fact that I did not take vitamins at the time, so I didn't feel the way in which I wanted to, or the way in which I should have been feeling. So sometimes I would get headaches with intermittent fasting, but I think that was a result of not taking my vitamins as well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any comments or concerns, please let me know down below. Follow me on Instagram, it's the same as my YouTube name. And please like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching.